How do we cope with life being out of our control? Here's how we do it if we're in illusion. If we're in the matrix of illusion, stuck in that contraption, then we pride ourselves on having a little bit of independence, a little bit of control. I can choose what color my hair is going to be. I can choose what consumer fashions I'm going to partake of. I can choose what color my iPhone cover will be. I've got powers of choice. I've got freedom. I can choose my t-shirt design. Or I can choose to spend the weekend with Jill and not Jane. Or even I can choose to spend the weekend with Jim. It's, I'm free as a bird. You ever hear that expression? Free as a bird. Then you got to study birds and see how free they are. Birds exist in a constant state of paranoia. They're always looking around for anything coming near them as they peck for food. So this statement, free as a bird, is a lie. But we're fascinated by the fact that birds can fly, and therefore we think, wow, that's freedom. But actually birds are totally under the control of the laws of nature, and human beings live that same kind of life, totally under the control of the laws of nature. No plan how to really be free. Justifying that we have independence simply because we can choose this color instead of that color, to be with this girl instead of that girl, that guy instead of that guy. But that's not real choice, because what's behind all that choosing? It's material nature pushing you. You gotta be with someone. You gotta do something for yourself. You gotta gratify your senses. So behind all our so-called independence, behind our so-called freedom, is the monster of material nature, cracking its whip. So we don't even have to wait until the landlord beats on the door and says, get out now. Even before, you see, even while we're living in that flat, everything important is out of our control. But we don't want to see it that way. How do we do it? We look at the little things and say, just see, I've got choice. I chose this color instead of that color. I chose to go to this club instead of that club. An example I often give. How many of you have been to the Hookah Falls? Raise your hand. Yeah. Have I been? Yes, I've been there. So before the water goes over the falls, it comes in a narrow channel and then hits the falls. And then at the base of the falls, things widen out. So, some years ago, it so happened that a expert canoeist decided he was going to take a canoe over the falls. And you remember that?
My old man was one of the first people to actually go down there, so...
Oh yeah? Did he survive?
Yeah.
Alright, well, okay. Well, this guy didn't. I guess your old man was more expert.
Lucky.
Yeah, lucky, yeah.
That's the way Dad puts it.
So, what was his reason for doing it?
He was young, he was looking for a thrill, living in the now, basically. Margaret will be one of the first people to go down Hooker Falls. Down he went, and if you get to the bottom, what happens is it's like a whirlpool, sucks you down and you can't get back up. So if you don't get up right, you just stay down there. So
he says he lucked out and he got up.
He lucked out, and then the police helicopters came and they went bugger off. So yeah, basically
the helicopters came, lifted him out.
Oh no, the police were looking for him because you weren't allowed to go down there.
Right.
And so they were kind of trying to chase them away, basically.
But he'd already gone over it.
Yeah.
So how did he get out of the water?
Oh, he managed to get, through that, and he just canoed down.
And when he came out, he was a big hero?
Well, not a lot of people know about it, so probably to his friends.
Just see, he did something daredevil and no one even knows. He didn't get the fame he wanted.
I don't think he was doing it for the fame. I think it was just because he was young and bored.
Young and bored. Let's see. Okay, well, this guy I'm talking about, he didn't make it. He went over the falls in his canoe. Your dad was in a canoe?
Yep.
He went over in a canoe in full view of busloads of Japanese tourists. So, just see what happened when he hit the base of the falls, and as you say, he got sucked under. He was struggling. So, what would you say about his freedom of choice, his independence? You would say, just look at the style of the way he's struggling. Just look at the way he's coughing up water. Wow, that's a unique way to do it. I've never seen it before. And then, what kind of swimming togs is he wearing? Speedos or what's the other?
Polo shorts.
Yeah, whatever. One of them begins with a B. No, brand names, you know. You want to check out what brand he's wearing. Is he up to the latest style? So, you be focusing on all those little characteristics. Just see his style of struggling, coughing up water. But what's the overall reality?
Style.
Yeah. But no, look, don't be negative now. Come on, look at the way he's thrashing about. No one has thrashed about in that particular way before. Why should you focus on the overall picture and be grim? You know, you must be listening to those Hare Krishnas, you know. You're missing the whole point, you know. You should enjoy the moment. I wonder how that water's tasting too. How's he tasting that water? Live in the moment, right? Be in the moment, right? Tell him just be with it now. Yes. Of course you wouldn't say that. You'd say, oh my God, he's finished. He's finished. You'd be seeing the whole picture. But why is it that we don't do that when it comes to our life? Our own life, we don't look at the whole picture. We just live for the moment. You feeling okay now? Yeah. You get friends around you who make you feel good in the moment. You know? Friends that will help you make it through the night, you know? As for the overall scope of your life, the overall vision of your life, well, you know, who knows? And why think about it? So that way, we're just like the canoeists who go over the Hookah Falls. So your father, he survived. This guy didn't. In full view of busloads of Japanese tourists, he drowned. Wouldn't you say, though, that the main thing is how he lived and how he tried to have his own meaning and make his own meaning? Would you say that's the important thing? No, the fact is he's finished. So similarly, here we are, back living in that flat in which we can be kicked out at any moment by the landlord. So, would you say, look, it doesn't matter that I'll be kicked out at any moment by the landlord. Let me just enjoy the moments while I'm here. You see? We don't like it that canoeist did himself in. We won't call him free and independent. We won't relish his styles, his characteristics. But when it comes to living in the flat, in which we can be kicked out at any moment, then we say, oh, yeah. Yeah, so what if I get kicked out? At least I've had some good times living in that flat. So my point is, it's not negative to face the insecurities that we have. What's a common way that people escape from dealing with insecurities?
Drink.
Yeah. Drink, smoke, snort, swallow. That's because they're trying to cope with the basic insecurity of life in this world. So if I were living in Hamilton, I'd be wondering what to do about this basic insecurity. How am I going to handle it? First of all, should I even be thinking about it? Do I have the kind of friends? Do I have the kind of family? Do I have the kind of society that encourages me to think about these deep questions? Or is everyone I hang out with, they're just like, hey, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. Just be with the moment. if we're around those kind of persons, we should know our life is being wasted.